Hey TV fans, welcome to Tori Talks TV. On this episode, I'll be discussing and recapping Evil Season 2, Episode 3, which is called F is for Fire. And you guys, I don't know why, but after watching this episode, I felt really icky, maybe even a little unsettled, and it was definitely because of Kristen and the way she was acting during the entire episode and her whole demeanor, which feels transformative in nature. So it starts off with her at night kind of dreaming about people having sex. And I was like, okay, some sexual frustration is set in. Andy is still gone. I guess he's still setting up the climb, let alone actually doing the climb. So, I get it. People have needs. And so she's just thinking about it. And then she does more than just think about it. She leaves her girls, goes to a bar looking hot as usual, but like really gussies herself up, and then like clockwork, after ordering a drink, a guy approaches her at the bar and offers to buy that drink, and they're flirting, and it is basically assumed that they're going to leave together. Ultimately, she doesn't end up leaving with him, but I just didn't see the infidelity going this way. I had suspected there would be some coming up, but I didn't know it was going to be like this. I always thought it would happen with David, because they have so much chemistry, David and Kristen. I know he's going for priesthood, but, it's undeniable that they have a lot of sexual chemistry. Also, David's 10 times hotter than bar guy Colin. Speaking of David, he goes ahead and takes that map of the sigils to Sister Andrea and shows it to her, and he's like, what do you make of this? Can you, help me out with it? And she at first wants nothing to do with it, but then for some reason she becomes interested when he tells her about the genetic modifying of embryos at this fertility clinic, and then she's like, tell me more. And then somehow she knows all these languages and is able to decode a little girl's name, and that little girl is Mathilda. Oh my gosh, so this girl's a mess. Mathilda is a foster child. She's placed with foster parents right now. One of them is of Catholic faith, other Muslim faith. You'll need to know that. She was taken away from her mother because her mother was taken away for setting a fire. But ever since this girl came to live with these people, there's been 3 fires set. So now Kristen is suspecting that maybe she's just, repeating the pattern of her mom, but then it's also thought of that maybe she actually is the one that set the fire and her mom just took the fall for it. So Kristen obviously goes and interviews her, and the little girl tells her reluctantly that there's this man that comes into her room at night and sets fires, and he looks kind of something like this. Yeah, and we find out from Ben the Magnificent, actually from his sister, about there's this Muslim spirit called a Jinn, and sometimes they're evil, sometimes they're not, and they kind of look like this. They have fire coming out of the top of their head, and so it's hard to know whether they're evil or not, so then they're going to have to do some kind of like Muslim exorcism, but at the same time David is called for a Catholic exorcism, so then now there's just like both simultaneously happening, which is interesting. But Kristen herself is actually having visual hallucinations of a Jinn, of this fire character, whatever, the guy with the fire coming on. She's kind of seeing that everywhere now too. I mean, it looks like they had exorcised the demons from this little girl, but then at the very end, you see her sitting outside and there's a trash can, and then the trash can sets on fire. So I think there's more to come with that to just wrap up that story. By the way, I have to point out that I totally missed Ben's sister. She was so funny and charismatic in season 1, so I'm glad she's back. And then Ben, oh my gosh, he has a demoness now, and she gets very frisky with him, and he's trying to figure out if this is all really happening, and he like tries to set up a voice recorder to see if he's like lucid dreaming. It's just not going very well. And then she randomly has a retainer. Yeah, like a mouth retainer that she takes out. I don't know why, but I'm thinking this has something to do with Lexis, the daughter of Kristen, and the teeth. There's like a whole teeth theme going on here. If you guys know something, let me know, but I feel like it has something to do with that. And then let's not forget Cheryl. Cheryl's crazy. She's crazier than ever, honestly. She is more manipulative than ever as well. So Cheryl and Kristen are not on good terms. They're not even really on speaking terms. So Cheryl goes to Dr. Boggs, you know, Kristen's therapist, goes there and kind of like manipulates him. And she basically says that she's not talking to her daughter, and she names her daughter Jasmine. But then Dr. Boggs is so smart, and he eventually figures out that Cheryl is the mother of Kristen. And in a very pathetic scene, after he's like, hey, Cheryl, I know that Kristen's your daughter, she drops to her knees and is like groveling and like holding on to him. It was very uncomfortable to watch, but it just like basically further proved that she's out of her mind and like being evil in some ways. I mean, it was creepy to watch, but it's just helping her case. So then that reminds me of the last episode when she says that she's dated worse demons than Leland. Is this even Cheryl? Is this the Cheryl that we knew before, or is this possessed Cheryl? And I mean, Kristen too, though. What has happened here? It's like Leland entered their life, and then now they're both kind of going off on that crazy, evil path. So this is all very interesting. Let me know what you thought of this episode. Comment below. And I have to thank you all so much for commenting and for reminding me of events that happened in season 1. I did go back and watch season 1, so I feel like I've brushed up on my knowledge, but I just can't thank you enough for all the engagements and comments and help. Thank you so much. And thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and then I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.